All right, there we go. That's better. Oh, they're coming in today. Look at that. I'm happy to say it. Okay. Okay. We'll give a few more minutes, you know, just cause. Anybody ready for the wet weekend they were supposed to have? Nobody?
Not looking forward to it.
Right. So if you're gonna do something, you better do it Friday. Cause Saturday
That's right.
it's gonna be a complete washout.
Totally.
Before 7 on Friday.
Okay. More specific.
Yeah.
Nice.
When is it supposed to stop?
Sunday.
Oh, the whole weekend.
Yeah.
You got a time on Sunday?
Really?
No, I've got things to do on Sunday. That's why I'm trying to find out what time.
No, I don't know.
We were gonna go to the Frederick Fair on Saturday, but we said, well, that's out.
Yeah, NASA's got this asteroid watching thing going on Sunday. And
Yeah.
it's of course that's indoors. So it's 9:30 to 1:30, but my grandson has baseball at noon. So I'm wondering if I don't have to do baseball.
You're gonna be doing baseball Sunday. Can you
I ain't trying to
imagine
do
it'd be
I'm
so
not trying to-
nasty out there.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do baseball in the wet. I
That's
agree.
what I mean. But it'll be it won't rain, probably won't be, raining, but it'll definitely be nasty.
Yeah.
For all the rain we're supposed to get on. And then it's gonna be windy too. So they're telling you to, make sure that you charge up your phones. I'm like, I hate to hear that. Because our area is the one area we can kind of depend on our electricity going out.
Yeah.
But it's been better. We've had worse, but it's been way better than it was before. So I can honestly say they have done better.
That's good.
Let's see. So we got a few people. Go ahead and get started. Hi, Jeannie. You getting your snack on? So anyway, I'm Alexis Recurling, the president in MNA. I said that so quick. MNA. This is our duty of our quarterly meetings. I get so nervous when I do these. I don't know why. I've done 1,000 of them. You think I'd be comfortable by now, but no, not me. So anyway, I'm going to switch to the agenda. What else do we want to say? Want to say you do better at introductions than I do. Miss Regina Smith is our treasurer for MNA. What we do
Yes.
for introductions.
And we also have our vice president on
yes, he came in. He's in here
if we
somewhere.
could just see your face real quick, Paul. I know you don't want to take it off of mute since y'all in the same house.
Yes.
But all I can see is the top of your head right now.
He said he's eating.
Oh, okay. All right. So we have our vice president with us tonight. And we're happy to have you guys here for our quarterly meeting. We do these every 3 months. It's always a lot of fun. So tell your friends. So with that, we can go to the agenda.
Yep. I'm headed there. Come on. Okay. All right. So we just did the introduction. We're going to do our treasury report next. We turned 3. We've been in existence for 3 years. So excited about that. That's such a blessing. When I came up with this novel idea of trying to put an organization back together to try to bridge all of the people that are in our neighborhood together, to have fun, because I just wanted to throw parties, really. But there's had to do some adult things too, like actually help the community or do activities that will benefit everybody, like cleaning up on Saturdays. Well, we'll get to that. But anyway, we turned 3 this year, and we wanted to tell you a few things about what we've done. The crime report ain't looking too good, but we got the crime report on here, and the upcoming activities we have. Last Spruce Up Marlton Day is on the 21st of October, and our trunk or treat, which I'm excited about, will be our second year doing that, is on the 29th of October. And we need volunteers. We love volunteers to decorate trunks and pass out candy. So I will. Miss Lolo, we need a QR code if you can get one to the. No. Okay. All right. We'll see if we can figure that out.
I don't know how to do QR codes, but I can put the link in chat.
Please, can you put the link in chat?
So you got the sign up, Jeannie?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Okay. All right.
She's gonna put it in she's gonna put the link in the chat.
Okay.
All right. And we need a secretary. I'm tired. So we need a secretary. We'll talk about that. And our special guest, or I shouldn't say special guest, sound like I'm on a TV show, don't I? Okay, our guest speaker is gonna be Norman Rivera, Mr. Norman Rivera. He's here and he came early to talk about the new townhomes that are coming in our neighborhood. But he's got some stuff to tell us, so we want to hear that. And then we'll wrap it up with the questions and closings. Okay. Anybody got any questions about our agenda? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Silence is golden. Okay. Take it away, Treasurer.
So for our treasury report for the past quarter from July 1st to September 30th, even though September 30th hasn't happened yet, but we started off with a balance of $1,347.39. We had 2 transactions that were covered this period, one for $83, which is our 6-month subscription for our P.O. box. And we spent $142.68 on our annual block party expenses, leaving us with a remaining balance in the bank of $1,121.71.
Yeah, that's where we at.
Any questions?
Billions of dollars.
We're always asking for donations.
Yeah. All right, well, we're moving right along. Next slide is our year in MNA turns 3 year in review. Should I read the whole thing or?
Well, let me, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
Okay, so in this past 3 years, we've been doing this for 3 years now. We've been doing the Marlton Community Cleanup Day, and we do that every third Saturday of the month between April and October. And as was mentioned earlier, our next one coming up is on October the 21st. We also have continued to publish a Marlton quarterly newsletter. And I know that was something that the community was sorely missing once the what was it called before?
Advocate,
thank you. The Marlton Advocate went away. So we have been diligently keeping the community informed with things that are going on in and around Marlton through the quarterly newsletter. We hosted our 2nd annual block party, which was just held on Saturday, April the 12th. If you didn't come, you missed out on a great event. We had a lot of new vendors there. Yeah. We had food, we had music. We actually had games, but there was a pool there, so the kids kind of wanted to do pool. And we also gave away prizes. Oh, yeah. So it's ideal to be there next year when we do this annual block party. And of course, we held these quarterly meetings in order to inform and share with the community items and issues that we have encountered and feel that is of value to the community. And last year, we held our inaugural Trunk or Treat Halloween experience, and that was at the pool. And our next scheduled Trunk or Treat experience is coming up, and is scheduled for Sunday, October the 29th. And that's going to be from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the Malton Pool parking lot. And if you've only heard it once, we haven't said it enough. We are seeking volunteers.
Volunteers?
I'm sorry.
I was just saying volunteers. I repeat you. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Say it again. Volunteers.
I'm your hype man.
So basically, we're looking for people that will sign up, decorate their vehicles. There's photos of last year's trunk or treat on our website at marlton.org. And we're also looking for people to bring their kids out to come and get some candy and goodies on that evening for that window of time. Right. So that's what we've been doing in the past 3 years. Now we've gotten to year 3 and we picked up some new things or we completed some things. So we actually petitioned to prevent a smoke shop from being added at the Malton Plaza, and that was successful. So we're not getting a smoke shop there. The Lodge of Malton, for the seniors over there by Malton Plaza, they were being, there was a rent increase that was beyond, I'm sorry?
Yeah, it was a rent increase of like 6%.
Right.
For the seniors.
But it was way above their wages, because you know what, that you got a fixed income, so a 6% increase is quite hard to swallow. So we was able to work with our local politicians to halt that or delay that rent increase. If you haven't been down Woodstock Drive walking, it's great on one side of the road. We were able to get the county to come out and repair the sidewalks. So there's now not these big old broken chunks of sidewalks where the roots from the trees had pushed up the sidewalk. And the county is going to come back out and do the other side of Woodstock. But for now, the worst side of Woodstock Drive has been repaired. And we participated in on a scholarship review committee for the Maryland State Delegate Scholarship Program. And that was a rewarding experience. And it made sure that they knew that we was willing to support them because we were going to ask them to support us.
Absolutely.
And we had our Malton Community Walk, which was held last year on October the 8th with the Division 5 Police Department. The team met up at the church, correct?
Yes. Met up at St. Paul's.
Yes. And this is a part about community unity, also fellowshipping with the police department, sharing with them our concerns and letting everyone know that the police and the community are working together to keep Malton a safe place. And the last item that has happened is that we were able to transition all fiscal management and administrative duties to the new board of directors for the Malton Control Commission. So if you know of anyone that lives in the Malton Control Commission community, the MCC community, Malton Neighborhood Alliance, MNA, is no longer responsible for that. We have transitioned that over to new management, and I will take a look and put in the chat the email addresses for those that you would need to contact if you want to get in contact with the new commissioners of MCC.
Oh, we forgot to mention the lights. The lights
yes, absolutely. So North Malton Drive, the lights had been out for a little over a year. And that delay was mainly because we were working to, one, get the county to resume responsibility for those lights, because MCC had been paying out of pocket to repair those lights. So we were successful in getting Pepco to take responsibility for those lights. And the lights they've installed new lights, and the lights are working on the street. We don't have anything to do with the gazebo, because the gazebo is a part of MCC property. And thank you, Lorraine. So they would be the ones to handle any issues or concerns with the actual gazebo itself, or the brick front to the community, because there's 2 lights on top of those bricks as well. They're not working, but the street lights, they're working, and MCC no longer has to be responsible and find an electrician in order to repair those lights. So yes,
Okay.
that was a major accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank our vice president who spearheaded that project, and our president who stayed on his back about getting that project done.
Yes, I did. I know I
So,
got on his nerves.
yes, but it's done, as well
Yes,
as the
sir.
sidewalks. That was another project from Mr. Curling. Yeah, very much on your back, huh? But we thank you for that. We thank you for leveraging your relationship with PG County Public Works and getting a lot of things done in the community that we need to have happen. So thank you. And that's all I have on this slide. Pending any questions, does anyone have any questions or comments on what I've shared? Okay.
Nope. Okie dokie. Moving right along. Well, we got a lot of crime, y'all. But it looks like it's a lot of stolen cars. Oh wow, somebody stole a car. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, it's a lot of stolen cars. We usually would have the community officer. Hopefully, before the year is over, we'll have a community officer so that if you have questions in reference that the police department can answer, they'll be able to assist you there. But we did not have that availability today. And I'm working on it to get us a regular person that will attend our quarterly meeting so that we can address anything that you guys have as far as crime or what you want to share or whatever that is. So sorry about that this time, but that's what we got. We got a crime report. It's also a full list of the crime report, thanks to Miss Lorraine, in the newsletter for this month. So if you want to see it's a really long list. It is in the newsletter, and you can get the newsletter at marlton.org.
And just for point of clarification, it's from May into September, which is what is in the newsletter. We're only providing what has happened in the past. This is almost like a 30-day period.
Yeah. Any questions about the crime report or the police community officer? Okay, I don't see no hands. Okay.
Yes, can y'all put that the link to get the newsletter in the chat, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's
Alright,
gonna
good.
be marlton.org/newsletter.
It's actually already in the chat.
Okay.
Miss Lorraine has already put it in there.
Thank you, Miss Lorraine.
You know she's on it.
She's
And
on
she
it.
also put in there the MCC president email.
Okay, so if you're looking
in
for
the
that,
chat.
that's it. Thank you, Miss Lorraine. Okay,
And the trunk or treat signups in there too.
good. Thank you.
And our website.
Yes,
sorry.
website. Everything's there.
She's got everything in there.
Yes. So Spruce Up Marlton. We got one left to do, which is, like I said, October 21st. This is a great opportunity for anyone who needs community hours to come get them. It's only an hour. You come in, we got the pickers, we got the little vests, it's 9 o'clock, it's not hot. Hopefully it won't be cold. But so it's the last one, and we start over again in April. And we go through the whole summer of but I can honestly say that that with the exception of a few people who just decided to throw their whole dinner outside the window when they were finished with it, it's actually been pretty decent. The street that we take care of is Fairhaven. So it's actually been pretty decent on Fairhaven. Not Fairhaven. I said Fairhaven. I meant
Yes,
Heathermore. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Heathermore.
So, yes, but I guess it depends on what Mr. Rivera is going to speak to tonight, whether we're going to continue to do this next year. But right now we meet at 9 a.m. on the corner of Heathermore Boulevard and Marlton Center Drive. So right across from the apartments.
Yes.
For anyone that wants to come out.
Thank you. Okay, so we talked about trunk or treat. We're gonna keep talking about trunk or treat.
Trunk or treat.
We need volunteers for trunk or treat on Sunday. Volunteers from 3 to 6. To make a great experience for the kiddos to have a new way of being safe in the neighborhood, and come out, decorate your trunk, and have some candy in there, and the kids get dressed up, and they really enjoyed it last year. So we would really, really, really like you to come out. And if you have any ideas, that'd be great. Share them with us. But we got the space. We just need the people. So
Oh, that sounds good. I'm interested in that.
awesome. We need an email. So can you put that in the chat for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And tell your friends, neighborhood, everybody.
And I want to say the costumes
Okay.
were so cute.
They were adorable.
So it was a treat to watch them having such a good time. And because however many kids we had, they got all the candy. So we was giving out candy.
Yeah,
they had
a real bag full. Yeah. Because we had to get rid of it. You don't want to go home. When are you going to eat it? Okay.
So thank you to the Marlton Pool for allowing us to use their parking lot again for this event. And as well as our annual block party. We've had a great partnership, and that's what it's all about. The Marlton Neighborhood Alliance is having a partnership with the organizations in and around Marlton community to host events like this for the community.
Thank you, Ms. Regina. So please volunteer for our trunk or treat. Make it great. Appreciate it. Okay, we need a secretary. And you said, Regina, you was gonna say that it wasn't gonna take a whole bunch of time. Go ahead.
So let me pitch this one, because we've been here 3 years. We've had an acting secretary, and she's been great. And she did this while she was in college, and she's moving on to other things. But we're looking for someone just to help out with the team. It's not a taxing role. It's not that you're going to be taking minutes at every meeting, because we got Zoom and we know how to record. So recording minutes is not necessarily the primary duty. It's really one of the items is checking our PO box. Between myself and the secretary, we'll make sure that that's regularly checked. And our PO box is down in Cheltenham Postal Service. So it's relatively local. We're looking at, okay, let me restate this. My president would love to be more organized in keeping a filing system and records. So we're looking for someone that can get on Google, get into Google Drive, make sure that we have records retained. And, we're eventually going to try to pursue some grants. So there's other activities that will be forthcoming that we would need the support of some mature adult that's willing to step in. And if you can't do it on a particular day or particular evening, this board is very understanding and very flexible. I must say that. So please, please, please reach out to us at our Gmail account. You don't have to do it here in the meeting. And I know Ms. Lorraine is going to put that Gmail address out there, so you just click on it. And I hope to have 5 emails of potential secretaries for us to choose from. Back to volunteering. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So, thank you so much for being patient, Mr. Riviera. I meant to say, any questions before I give Mr. Riviera the floor? Anybody? Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and give the floor over to Mr. Riviera so he can talk about the townhomes. I pulled a picture up. I got a picture for you. Let me know if there's anything that you need me to put on there if it's not this.
Oh, that's great. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine.
Great. Good evening, everybody. My name is Norman Rivera. We spoke probably last year this time. And the property that you're kind enough to put on the screen is one of the central properties right on Heathermore Boulevard. It's surrounded by townhouses, the apartments south of Heathermore. My client has purchased it. Not much is going on since we last spoke. The layout you have before you is essentially more townhouses in that configuration. And he's been searching for financing and a builder. Last time we spoke, we understood the concerns of the community in terms of traffic, the look, the amenities, recreation. So those are the things we're focused on. And there's no use making it, a square peg in a round hole. So I was hoping he would be here tonight, but he is on the road. I was trying to log in, but he's having problems because he was at the airport or whatever. But I just wanted to let you know that we're still working on it. And if anything ever happens, we're going to obviously be back in touch with you to share our progress report. On the other hand, as you're probably well aware, there was a Marlton golf course, and he has purchased that property. He wants to resuscitate the Marlton golf course, which was a long time amenity for the community. And I will forward you guys a press release that he has drafted that you can review, but it basically states his purpose is to have a upper class, fine, supreme type of golf course with a restaurant, a gym, fitness center, etc., that would serve the community. So the golf course is generally to the south of you guys from this picture. And we will share those plans as soon as I get something more formal, and I will certainly share the press release. So that's what I have for this moment, and I'm here for any questions. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, who's first? All right, well, if not, I'm gonna go. Oh, I see a hand raised. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm in the car right now, so it might be a lot of noise. I apologize. I was interested in the townhomes that they are building on Heathermore. So that would be right behind the townhome that I'm currently living in, or in my community. That's right behind like Town Center Way, Town View Court over there.
Yes, Woodstock.
Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
And so my concern in particular, and I'm interested in knowing whether or not your client has thought about this or has any opinions on this. So one of the things about the area, especially that wooded area, right? It's very wooded and nice and like serene. So is there going to be any like wooded area left for the townhomes that are currently there to maintain kind of that like rural FDA suburban feel, or is it just going to be completely filled with like homes?
It will not be completely filled. The cursor pointed out to an area which is going to remain green. And then within the site itself, you see the units. The county has open space requirements, tree conservation, woodland conservation requirements as well. And there'd be generally areas for stormwater management to handle any runoff from the project. We have to take care of our own stormwater management. So it won't be just a flat, obliterated site with townhouses. It has to be up to modern standards. So when the other townhouses were built around us, in the old days, the code wasn't as stringent in terms of open space and tree conservation. So now we have much more stringent requirements. The state modified the regulations in the last couple of years. So we will obviously abide by those because it's an amenity for the residents, amenity for the community. So it won't just be a bunch of townhouses. It'll be woven into the fabric of the land.
Okay. And then my next question, kind of in alignment with that, is already, I think with the development in the area, we're seeing like more animals coming into communal spaces. And so has there been any, and I would like to say, like, I'm not for like killing animals or anything like that, but has there been any thought to progressive ways to like curb the animals, keep them safe, but also keep the community safe? Because like I've been seeing like snakes and groundhogs and deer and foxes and all sorts of things. And so I imagine that with this development, it's going to create even tighter space for the animals that are already here. And so like, has there been any thought of like innovative ways to support, one, to keep like dead carcasses off the roads and things, but also like to support redirecting them to other greener areas, or just like so we all can like live in this space together without any like dangers?
There's no specific methods that we use to control wildlife. There are codes and guidelines in the master plan that talk about wildlife corridors. So that open space you see to the top of the picture where the green area is, there's a stream valley there. And generally the stream valley is where the deer and the other animals would go to connect to wherever it goes. Like for example, on the East Marlton across railroad tracks, that's largely wooded and undeveloped. Hopefully they would go there. But specifically as to this project or any project in the county, there aren't any guidelines. We have to preserve the forest habitat. So for birds, etc., they have what they call an interior forested habitat so they can breed. Same thing where the trees are, that's where the other ground living animals can migrate and go back and forth.
Okay. Okay. And then, so another question I have, I guess, connects to like what was being talked about earlier about like litter and things. Are they planning on putting like more like, I guess, trash cans in the neighborhood or something? Because we already have like a litter problem, right? And I personally and some of my other neighbors, like we go on our streets and try to keep it clean. So the idea of what is it, like 250 or so more homes? Is that what they said?
Approximately, yes.
Okay. Like the idea of 250 more families moving in and no real direction for how to curb like litter. I mean, traffic as well, but like, so is there any thought to like additional resources and support?
Yes, that's a good question because the well-being of the community depends on how it looks, the curb appeal, if you will. And when I go walking with my dog, I always bring a bag with me because I always pick up litter. People just throw stuff, even though there's a trash can really right there. I don't understand why people throw things on the ground, but I pick it up as I walk along. In fact, in Finland or Sweden, there's actually a name for that where you go walking with a trash bag and the people that live there self-clean their neighborhood. So no matter how many trash cans you put and signs up, if some person just throws it on the ground, it's up to the community to self-police and try to maintain it. But we will have trash cans at the parks. There's going to be open space within the community where we're going to have trash cans and dog waste stations. So you can't just have, dog poop everywhere. You have to have the bags and dispose of it properly, as well as trash cans for recycling and other waste.
Okay, so essentially it's pretty much like we'll put up things, but it really will depend on like, hopefully we'll get people who don't litter is essentially where we're at.
Yeah, people that care about the neighborhood and community that are purchasing these townhomes, which leads me to my question. Since he's seeking financing, so he has a plan, but the plan hasn't been, let's say, solidified for that. Would he entertain having less townhomes? Because putting that many townhomes in the area, and you've already heard this before, that's a lot in such a small amount of space.
Yeah, we're open to any considerations. The layout you have before you is very conceptual.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we never get more, we usually get less. So just by normal attrition through development review with the county, doing the parks, the amenities, et cetera, we'll have less units than proposed, which will have to be commensurate with the public facilities that provide support in terms of traffic and other things. So yes, ma'am, we would.
Okay. Go ahead, Miss Lorraine, and ask your question.
Okay, my question was, I know last time we had talked about how the roads that y'all were planning were very, very narrow, and we needed more parking. And instead of than what was being provided in there, and maybe wider streets to allow for street parking. Has that been taken into consideration yet, or is that something that you're still looking at?
Well,
so that's the first question.
Yeah, that's a good question. And guest parking, is mostly what people are concerned about. And we hope that these folks who have garages in their townhomes actually use their garages. I've lived in townhouse developments before, and they don't park in the garage. They use it as a storage unit. Therefore, your personal car has to be in the driveway or in a public street. So our covenants for the HOA will say that you have to use your garage to the extent possible. We can't force you to,
Yeah.
but we want to do that. But the county and we work with the standards for parking to provide a certain level of guest parking, because it can't just be for the homeowner itself. Because if you have a dinner party, birthday, whatever, you got to have some other parking available. And then there'll be the major streets will have adequate room for parking on the street as well as to the garages.
Okay, because last time we had talked, there wasn't going to be any street parking. That's why I was asking that. But now you're saying that there will be some street parking available?
Yeah, we've heard that before, and we need to strive to do that. When we get to what we call the detailed site plan stage, this is a concept plan. The next step would be a preliminary plan of subdivision, which just lots it out, just little lots. Each house has a lot. And then the detailed site plan has to show the parking, the amenities, and all that. But certainly before we go to any of those steps, we would show you where the parking, the amenities, open space would be, the trees, etc.
Okay. Another question was, you had mentioned that there was going to be trash in public trash cans. My mom over here is wondering who's going to pick that up. Is that supposed to be the HOA's responsibility or what?
Yes, the HOA. So Marlton is made up of a lot of little neighborhoods and communities, as you well know, and each HOA is responsible for the maintenance of the private open space, which is the green areas that are owned that are on your lot. So the park, any open space that has to be maintained by mowing the lawn, that also includes emptying the trash cans as well, and snow removal, trash, etc.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Regina, go ahead. You had your hand raised.
Actually, my hand is raised because there's a question in the chat that asks
Oh.
what amenities are being proposed besides homes, instead of, other than homes.
There'll be open space and some what we call pocket parks. So you want to have open space with like play areas for the children, pre-kindergarten, etc. But they have to be located where there's what we call eyes on the street. So your kids are being supervised in some fashion by the neighbors and by the parents. So we will flesh that out as we go forward with the detailed site plan. And then we will present that to you guys as we move forward. It certainly cannot be without any amenities. I see there's something about a dog park that's very popular. Where I live, there's almost more dogs than people. And so that's huge, an amenity for, in fact, we had one project, what was that? It was a dog washing station. I heard about car washes, but I never heard about dog washing, because some people just want to wash their dogs outside and have a place to run with water. So we'll look at that. I don't know if that demand would be there. Once you build the property, then it really depends on who lives there, if they have a lot of dogs.
Mm-hmm. I have a question about, you just blew my mind with saying that you and your client is going to purchase the golf course.
Yes, ma'am.
So how far are we are we finalizing the steps? Where are we?
So I will send you the press release. Let me just read it and paraphrase if I could.
Okay.
He had some final changes to make. But he wants to call it the Marlton Golf Country Club, which actually was started as a 9-hole course back in the late 60s.
Right.
And they want to have a 5-star dining experience with focus on farm-to-table concepts, state-of-the-art fitness center and spa, a sports complex of some kind, an organic farm, which lends to the farm-to-table idea, and a gourmet market winery. And he wants to do a signature rum bar because he's from the islands. That's one of his things. I'm not opposed to that. And possibly some kind of music pavilion for community events, music, theater, things like of that nature, which Marlton has never had. And really, mostly Prince George's County lacks that kind of vision for the people that spend their money to live it somewhere. You need to have somewhere to recreate. So that's his idea, to transform the community and provide amenities, obviously not just for us, but for the entire Marlton community and whoever wants to go there.
Is it the same person who's purchasing the townhomes that's
Yes,
doing this?
yes, ma'am. He's
So
a
is that-
minority developer.
Minority
Yeah.
is the one that I thought that was owned by the old
Plus-
governor's
Yes, yeah, Pleasance.
Yeah,
He purchased it from them.
okay. And his name ain't Slick, by the way, is it? Just
No.
Silk. It's not Silk, right? Okay.
Silk?
Just ask him.
No.
Okay. All right. So his information, all of his information is on the
Yes,
press release?
I have your emails,
Yes.
Alexis and Regina, so I will forward that to you shortly.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If he has I'm looking for a right word. Anyway, we would love to have a community center, something where the kids can go and do arts and crafts and a place where,
They have an alternative other than hanging out in the streets.
yeah, that part.
Oh, yeah. Well,
all this
a
5-star
community
stuff.
center is a very expensive endeavor. Normally, the Maryland National Capital Park Planning Commission provides the community centers regionally, locally. If you have a large enough project, then you can afford to build a clubhouse with a pool,
Right.
party room, et cetera, like you see in some larger developments like Beach Tree up 301, for example.
Right.
But they have a whole golf course. But they also have 3,000 units, whereas this is at most 300. And the
No.
economics.
I didn't mean there. I meant in a golf course, because we 10,000 over strong in this neighborhood of all the HOAs and
Oh, I know
neighborhoods.
that. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I meant. I meant at the golf course, not at the apartments. I know we're not going to get it over there.
Oh, yeah. At the golf course, yes, they do want to have sports complex, fitness center, et cetera, as well as.
But will it have
pavilion.
space? I'm saying, will it have space to do what I'm talking about doing, which is a community
Yes.
center type? It don't have to necessarily. It could be a playhouse. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like a stage and something that's where the kids can do arts and craft Renaissance style. There's arts, there's
Oh, yeah.
dancing, there's playing music, all of that.
Yes, that would be available. The golf course by its nature, has a lot of space.
Yes.
Because he wants to do these ideas with the restaurant, the farm, market. There's going to be room for that to be built into the program.
So
When does he look- timing?
One more question.
Mhm.
Because the space of where it is in the back, we don't have like wide streets and a lot of traffic coming through there. How's that gonna work? Because you're talking about a restaurant. That means you're gonna have to have people and traffic, and that's gonna interrupt our.
Those roads will have to be analyzed between us and the county to make sure they can handle the volume of traffic. And anything we build will be built in stages, so it won't be
Right.
like, boom, there's Disneyland there all of a sudden.
Right,
It has to
okay.
be built over time. Excuse me, and then we would have to have a traffic study and an analysis of what phase one is. Is phase one just the restaurant, phase two, this and that? And then we work within the fabric of that, the regulatory system, and with you guys, of course, to ensure that there's no adverse traffic impacts.
Okay. So go ahead, Miss Regina. There's some people.
Mine is real quick, and then there's 2 hands up.
Okay, yeah.
And mine is with the townhomes and with the golf course. What is the timing that he's looking to break ground on these at this point?
So in the project before you on the screen, it would be at least 2.5 to 3 years before we break ground, because we have to go through the subdivision process, which is where you take that 30 plus or minus acres, cut it up into lots to design the streets. And then the next step is a detailed site plan. We have to show the architecture. What do these townhouses look like? What does the park look like? Where are the trash cans? How does all that work? So those two processes are subdivision and site plan. They go hand in hand. And at the end of the day, then you get a grading permit and a building permit. So it's easily going to be 2 to 3 years for anything that's happening out there.
Okay.
But we will keep you advised, because there's other issues, obviously, with construction, traffic, et cetera. We want to make sure the community is well aware of how that works.
Well, that's gonna suck when it comes, but yeah. Okay, so we got Miss Lorraine.
Yeah, you're talking about all the stuff you want to put in at the golf course. That's a lot of stuff. Are we gonna be like, are you gonna be taking some of the holes away to make room for some of this stuff and like maybe reverse it back to, I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't play golf. I've never been out there. I just go past it and I see the grass is like waist high right now. So that's a problem. But
Well, the idea is to have the 18-hole golf course plus the amenities, and there's actually enough room for that. It just depends how it lays out. But the plan is to keep the 18 holes, although it was a 9-hole golf course back in the day. And then we added a golf club in the prior owner, the Marlton Golf Club, but they want to do an 18-hole course as a destination sort of site. So you have to have all 18 holes plus the amenities.
okay.
What's the time frame for that? Right, I'm coming to you, lucky lady. What's the time frame for that golf course stuff? Just even the first phase.
So they're doing concept plans now internally. And once they're available, we would certainly share it with you guys to make it public. So it's your community, not ours.
Right.
And we want to make sure that you get to have a glimpse of it. But they hire golf course professionals because, as the lady just said, it's grown up and there's going to be a lot of work to be done to rehab the course.
At least $1 million just to restore that.
No, easily could be. I worked on one at Oak Creek up Church Road in Bowie. Just rehabbing the mansion and all the grounds is $4 million, and the course itself is $8 million just to grade it. And then you have to let the grass grow because Mother Nature has to take over. Get the greens to come in and all that stuff. So it's a lot of work.
Okay. Lucky lady, had your hand raised. You still here?
Yes, I'm sorry. I had to figure out where the mute was.
You know, it doesn't. It chases. It runs when you try to chase it.
Okay.
I
just have an overall concern. So I live in the new development, Heathermore, which is all the way in the back. And one of the attractions to the property was the seclusion of it, where it's kind of hidden and, it's a little peaceful, so to speak. Where exactly, I see the map, but I'm not good with viewing the maps, especially when it's the wood and everything. So I'm trying to see where exactly would all of these townhomes be located, because I know like right at the end of ours, they already put up barriers saying dead end. And we have those, I don't know what they're called, but like the wire poles, those poles that sit up.
Heathermore Boulevard dead ends into basically the Pepco right away, as well as the CSX rail tracks.
Yes.
You can't go past that. So the area that you see there in the green is right before another set of townhouses. They're on the left as you go actually right to the tracks.
They're
So
right
we're
across the
off.
street from the apartments, basically.
Yeah, we're the only open space left in that area. So it's before the tracks, before Pepco.
So wait a minute,
and-
what I'm saying is, so basically when you're driving, because we have like this long ride roadway. So, and it's like all woods beside the town, beside the apartments. Are you talking about right there and back?
No,
No,
I'm sorry.
in the
It's gonna
front.
be on your, if you're coming down Heathermore Boulevard,
Uh-huh.
on the left-hand side,
Mm-hmm.
you cross over Woodstock, and that's where we have the 4 lanes that go down to 1.
Yep.
All that green area to your left.
Where the dogs used to go and do they whatever people have people.
I'm new around here, so you can't tell.
Okay.
You say
No,
where the
because you're
dogs
going,
used to go.
if you're going home, it's gonna be on your left-hand side. I know you're talking about the area to your right. We're not talking about there.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Miss Lucky, Miss
I just
Lucky,
gotta take a ride around the community again, I guess.
Miss
Because
Lucky, you ever head home from the Food Lion up
Yes.
at Fairhaven? When
yes,
you get to that stop sign at Fairhaven where you would turn right to go home,
It's in front
Right.
of you.
that wooded area right there in front of you.
In front of you at the
Oh,
stop
That's what
sign.
we're talking about.
Thank you, Miss Lorraine. You helped me out, girl. Okay, because I was about to say there ain't much room back there for 250 units. That's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
ain't enough space for where he's trying to put it, but you know, we're gonna talk
Right,
about that.
yeah, I could see at the most maybe a good 50 without it being smothered. You talk about 250 and a complex and all this. It's like, wow, we're gonna be similar to Beach Tree.
That's why we're talking.
There
Right.
is
I don't know about that. I mean, I can see it. It's definitely a good idea. It's definitely something to have because we've been talking in the community as well as like this whole area, we don't have like restaurants or anything of that nature. It's either you gotta go to Brandywine or Bowie. It's nothing in between. So it would definitely be a good attraction. But in the same token, it is kind of, a secluded, nice neighborhood for living. And you don't know what kind of hoopla could come with all of that.
True. You never know that though.
Exactly. But you could try to avoid it as much as you can, I guess, but it's inevident if you're gonna have things of that nature.
If they're still
But thank
building.
you guys for explaining that. Thanks again, Miss Lorraine. I'm telling my age, I can't even read that good.
Mr. Wade, you got your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yes, I do. Okay, maybe I missed it, but I know you asked Mr. Rivera before about the time frame of the golf course. Did I miss the time frame when this is coming? And also, someone mentioned the height of the grass, and if when will that happen? I mean, I'm thinking about what happened in Maui, and the length of the grass is something that would definitely cause a large fire here. Well, what we've got. So I'm just curious about a time frame.
Well, the townhouses will be at least 2 to 3 years before those have break ground and start construction. The golf course itself is a much larger area, so I would imagine that's the 4 to 6 year time frame. In the meantime, we have to maintain the property.
Yeah.
If there's any fire hazards or whatever, I mean, it's certainly not like Maui or the other areas of the country, God forbid, where there's tinder basically. Maui had these very old electric lines that they didn't turn off in time. I guess that's what the lawsuit is about. It set off the wooden houses that were prevalent in that town, Lahaina, which I visited a long time ago. So it was just obviously all wood, high wind, fire. That scenario is not going to occur here in Marlton because it's heavily wooded or grass and it's not dry. But we will certainly keep that in mind. We would have to maintain the property. So once they get going in the golf course, They have to maintain the height of the grass, fairways, all that open space will be carefully maintained. Right now, there's really nobody taking care of it. And my client just purchased it, so he's gonna have to get in there and fix it up.
Yes. Okay. Okay. One other quick question. As far as the golf course, have you considered a separate interest as opposed to the roads that's going to the golf course now? Has it been considered to come up with a separate interest totally?
Yes, that's a great question. So there's a couple alternative routes. The old way was just, very narrow kind of country road.
Right.
To do what we're doing, we're gonna have to have another entrance or another road that's wider. Because you can't attract people from 301 and then wind your way all the way back there. It has to be, like boom, this is you're here in Marlton, and then it has to be sized to handle the amount of traffic that they hope to get. But that's another thing that we have to address is ingress and egress, access in and out that is safe and convenient for the patrons, but just as much as for the residents.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Lexus, we're approaching the top of the hour. There's
Yes.
2 questions in the chat. And once we
Okay.
address those, I think we should go ahead and move on and close out the meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the question in the chat is, will you be taking a survey to see what amenities the residents would feel would be rewarding, as well as increasing our property value? That is question 1. And then the second question is back to the townhomes. What's the proposed square footage on the proposed townhomes if you've gotten that far? Because I understand you're still in concept phase.
Yeah, there's the first. You guys have to verify.
We can't hear you. Can't hear you. The phone's on.
Mine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
you-
you're better.
Okay, good. Let me
There
get
you go.
close. My computer died. I don't know what happened. So from the amenity standpoint, you have a very robust community. Your alliance has a great website. So maybe what we should do is help formulate
Okay.
an email, mass email to the group, not only to you, but to the control commission, any other group that just wants to get people's input just in general. And that way that we could get that. But it has to be couched within the constraints that we only have that many acres and that much, to deal with. As to the square footage, the townhouses will be very new, obviously, which will provide new product for the community. And generally townhouses in this day and age are between, say, 25 to 3,400 square feet finished. Now it's up to the homeowner to buy finished. So if you have an unfinished basement, that's different than having it finished with carpet and, wet bar, pool, all that kind of stuff, pool table. That's up to the actual homeowner. But generally the unfinished square footage total between 24 to 3,400 square feet, which is a 3-level townhouse, plus a deck and or patio.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Riviera, for coming and sharing your information. Don't forget to send me that press release because I want to see that information on that. Thank
And we'll
you. And
continue
feel
to
better.
work-
You got a little nasal stuff going on. I hope you feel better. Them sniffles away.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Go
we'll-
Mr. Regina.
I was going to say that, yeah, we'll continue to communicate and work with you. When you find out anything new, please share it with us so we can share it with the community. We can put it on our website. I like the idea of us maybe putting together a poll and sending it out to the community about what amenities we would like to recommend.
Right.
So once again, thank you so much for your time. And I see there's a note, but it's a laughing out loud, but it's very serious, and it is cutting that grass over there at the golf course. I think that's a #1 priority.
Yeah.
that everyone is concerned with right now because it is brown and it is high. So, moving on, we're gonna go back to that magical word tonight. Volunteer.
Thank you. Have a
So,
great night.
Thank you. Have a
thank
good
you.
evening.
Bye-bye.
So we really need our volunteers for our trunk or treat. And the information is on our website as well as on the in chat, right? We still got it in
Yes.
chat? Okay.
Mhm.
And on the screen here we got emails. If you interested in volunteering and haven't decided at the moment, but you want to surprise me and email me, feel free to fill out one of the emails over here. Right here. Let me
But then
know.
also, all of this is on our marlton.org website. You can always volunteer through there. We're
Yes.
looking for people to help put together the Marlton newsletter
Yes.
that we do every quarter, and it is a lot of work. And I have to say, between Miss Lorraine and Miss Alexis, they put together this labor of love every quarter for everyone.
More Miss Lorraine than me, but you know, she is a superwoman, let me tell you.
And
Yes.
so we definitely appreciate her, but these two young ladies could definitely use some help when it comes to the newsletter. And our website right now, Alexis is the main person as our webmaster. So she's wearing so many hats. So it'd be great if we can have someone, even if you don't know how to do it, you can be trained. We're willing to train to be able to help get someone to help update the information on the website, because we want to make it sure that it's relevant at all times and not outdated. And it's only because we're so busy, we don't have time to update it. There are other volunteer opportunities on our website. If you go check it out, please sign up for something, because you know it's all of our communities, and it's all of our community, small communities within this large community. So I'd like to think of us as one family, and we're trying to help everyone in the community, and we're asking for help to help us do that. So please volunteer.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Regina. I couldn't say it better myself. All right. We're gonna say good night. Appreciate y'all coming. Oh yeah. Our next meeting, when are we gonna do that? We're gonna do before Christmas or after Christmas?
It's before Christmas, and it's in December. It's Thursday, right? So December
It has to be
December 14th.
Okay, December 14th. So December 14th is our next meeting. Thank you everyone for participating. If you have any questions or anything, those are the emails. You can give us send us a line and we'll respond. Thank you. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Stay dry.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Stop sharing. Where's the stop sharing thing? I look so. Okay. Stop sharing. Okay, now I can do that.